Hello again, everyone. So I just want to make this video to correct myself on a certain position where I recommended an incorrect move. So this was brought to my attention by two users on chess.com when I posted this video in the forum section, and they did say that there was an inaccuracy from move 10. So we're just going to follow the main line here. If you don't understand what this video is going to talk about, then you need to refer back to my original video on the Kmoch variation of the Nimzo-Indian defense with my first part, which recommends the move c5 on move 4. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop e4, and after f3, the Kmoch variation c5. So we're just going to follow the main line here as we did last time with e4, b5, e5, knight e8, and after f4, e takes d5, c takes d5, d6, knight f3. And here, the move that, because we are following a high-level game here, we are following a high-level game between Nishakira Mamajaro versus Ding Liren, where Ding Liren played the black side. The move played in the game was a6, but this is actually inaccurate because it does give white a very comfortable position after bishop d3, and then like c4, and then something like bishop c2, because there are no problems here at all. But the move that is critical, instead of the move a6 here, is actually the move c4. This has been played many times, and the most natural response is to try to break open this structure with a4. And in this position, actually, we're just going to follow game by two grandmasters, 2500 plus, nearly 2600, both of them, where the move played is knight d7. And in first glance, maybe your engine will say that this is an inaccuracy. It will say like white has plus 0.8, so very nice positional edge. But actually, after bishop e2, which is the most natural move and the move that makes most sense, queen b6 actually gives black a playable, quite comfortable position. Queen b6 obviously stops castling in this position, and after the move a takes b5, we will notice that obviously first off we can take this pawn at any time that we want. So this pin is very important. But if we take the pawn now, for example, then white simply castles and has no problems. And even white has the center, and it's not easy to play for black. So we're not going to do that. After d takes e5 and f takes e5, we're going to play the move knight c7. So obviously any pushes with e6 doesn't work. And for example, d6 just allows knight takes b5. And the pressure on c3 is immense, as well as the weak e5 pawn here. So we're not going to do that either. So after the move we play knight c7, the natural looking move would be bishop takes c4. And after this, we're going to play rook e8, adding more pressure. And yet again, we don't have any fear of our opponent pushing e6 or d6, because obviously d6 is in. We can still take on b5, because after bishop takes b5, for example, queen takes b5, this pin is still maintained, and our queen on the b5 square still prevents castling. So that's a good version of it. And so if we're not afraid of that, then what are we afraid of? Not really anything. Here the best move would be to play bishop f4. And after bishop f4, I've analyzed this quite a bit. The move should be knight takes b5, as we saw in the other line. And after bishop takes, queen d4 is the move. We play the very odd looking but strong queen b7. The idea is that this indirectly stops castling. First off, castling queenside is just terrible because of the weak king position, and castling kingside obviously allows bishop c5 just waiting on the spot. So after queen b7, the best move supposedly is to play queen d2, just retreating. And after that, instead of playing the bishop to c5, which temporarily stops castling, we are going to play the move knight c5, which threatens first off knight b3, and this pawn is extremely weak, because we're going to make use of this pin to eventually capture on d5 when allowed. So after the objectively the best move in this position, queen c2, just allowing queen takes d5, making use of this pin on the knight, it does allow white to castle, but we do get into the move queen c4, and after this is the critical, one of maybe the most critical position, because there's one deadly move here, which is bishop g5, knight g5, excuse me. First off, it attacks h7. It also puts pressure on the f7 pawn, because once this rook is opened up, it might actually be dangerous for black. So we do need to play accurately here. Queen d3 is a move, but it's not the best move. The best move in this position is knight d3. First off, attacking this bishop, but this is not actually a threat, because if we play knight takes f4, for example, then this pawn on h7 would be weak and it would just be taken. So, for example, white can play a move like king h1, but after king h1, there's the move bishop f5, and this position is already very good for black. Bishop f5 and the bishop defends the king nicely, and no dangers at all. Though after the move, after knight d3, the critical move is bishop g3. And after that, we're just simply going to play bishop e6, just defending f7. And after rook f3, attacking the knight there, we're going to play rook a8. And notice that this pawn on a7 cannot be captured because of bishop c5, picking up the exchange, at least after bishop f2. At the very least, we can even play this move, just winning. So yeah, that's not an option. And so after rook a d8, white can play h3, but I think I can stop right here, because no matter what white plays, like a calm move eventually like king h2 or whatever, we can just play rook d7, and it's either we're gonna double the rooks on the d file, or after knight e6, rook e6, we get a very comfortable position. Rook d1 seems natural, but just still loses a pawn. So we can see that this position is already very favorable for black. And that's basically what I just wanted to correct, because in this position after knight f3, a6 is a critical mistake because it allows bishop d3, and even though we push the bishop back, white doesn't need to capture here, and after bishop c2, it's actually kind of a headache, because how do we deal with the pressure on the h7 pawn? How do we deal with the pressure in the center? So, and the position is not comfortable, so we're still fighting for equality there. So I do recommend c4 instead of a6. Yep, so I think that's going to be it. Again, apologies for that video. I made a critical mistake, and I hope that this video can redeem that analysis. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to be uploading the second video of the Kmoch variation series, I think just right after this. So yep, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like if you did. Peace.